Hey, so we're here in the kitchen today. Welcome, I'm glad you're here. But I'm gonna tell you, today we're just throwing something together. So you're here with me in real life, Dorina's kitchen. So today is one of those days, we call it shway shway. There are some people who have what they call a recipe for that, but it's kind of like when you just throw something together, just shway shway. Kind of sounds like what it is, you know? So I had this beautiful kale in the fridge. I got a pot of pasta on. So I'm gonna do this. I already washed it. I'm just gonna, actually this is pretty nice looking, but I'm just gonna trim the little bottom off here. A couple little brown stems. And I'm just going to cut this, let me move these things out of here, into little pieces. This is the Tuscan kale. Some people call it, what do they call it? Dinosaur kale or something funky. It's got these big bumpy leaves. It's nice and that deep, dark, beautiful green. My datero cucina pan. And my pasta water's already on. I threw that on quickly. So I'm just gonna put this in here real quick for a minute. So this is what I decided. I went in the refrigerator and I'm like, all right, what have I got? I had the kale. I've got a nice pack of mushrooms, organic mushrooms. I got from my Misfits box. If anybody's ever interested in the Misfits box, let me know. I've got a code. You can get a discount on your first box. Love it. It's all my organic vegetables that I get every week in the mail, in a pack, in a box. Love it. So I'm gonna throw some mushrooms in here because the mushrooms and the kale, this will be a nice, hearty, healthy, yummy meal. So got my pot on, or my pan. That's my pot. This is my pan. We're gonna put a little olive oil because we love olive oil. I'm not gonna cook real hot. I'm gonna cook this kind of, turn it back down. I just wanted the pan to get hot for 1 second. So I've got some garlic here. I'm just rough chopping. I'm gonna throw that in the oil. Little sizzle because it's not too hot. I have one little baby eggplant. I'm gonna go and throw this. I'm gonna wash this real quick, take the sticker off of it. And it's a good thing let's turn that low. You know, I saw this yesterday and I was like, you know, I gotta do something with this because it had a bad spot on the top. The rest of it is pretty good. Let's get these little bit of, yep, it's a good thing I decided to go meatless. So this will be kind of like, between this and the mushrooms, it'll give it some substance. So I'm just going to cut this into chunks. Maybe I'll cut it into strips just for fun. Okay. We're gonna throw those in. Ha-ha. We'll have a little bit of pasta with greens and eggplant and mushrooms. And the way we're doing this could also be a side dish. You could make this as a veggie side dish, or you could mix it all together. Now I know some people are gonna say, oh, you know, don't you need to salt the eggplant, blah, blah, blah. Listen, it was one little eggplant. It had one little spot on it, but it was actually relatively fresh. You know, it's not much. I'm gonna put salt in it anyway. It'll pull some stuff out, but it's fine. It's those really big ones that get really seedy. The dark seeds make a lot of the bitterness. So that's when you want to make sure you salt it. So anyway, we're just doing a quickie and they're just gonna have to deal with it. So now eggplant does soak up the olive oil very quickly, just saying. So we're gonna put those in. We're gonna leave them spread out all across the bottom so that they cook, because I definitely want those to soften up. We're just gonna throw everything in. We're gonna throw the nice washed greens in. And we're gonna throw in some mushrooms. Well, this is gonna be good. Now I will say though, normally mushrooms and sausage go really good together in a pasta dish. We'll do that another day. It's really good. All right, the pasta water is boiling. So let's get my handy dandy little scissors here. All right, so I've got bucatini today. I love bucatini. So it's like spaghetti, but it's like a straw. You know, it's like a little teeny thin hole in there. Okay, I'm gonna be nice and break that piece off that just stuck in my mouth. Anyway, and put this in. And somebody was asking yesterday, somebody asked online, this brand of pasta I like. It's one of the ones I really like. It's called Granoro, G-R-A-N-O-R-O. Granoro. Golden grain. Grano is grain, oro is gold. So there you go. Let's see here. We'll use my big giant Pampered Chef tongs. Oh yeah. Yeah, they're getting, I can see them underneath already. We're just gonna very carefully just kind of, you know, turn this stuff around. Let it all get oiled. Probably gonna need a little more oil. Oops, runaway leaf. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna get our, see the bucatini are a little thicker than your regular spaghetti, so they're gonna take a second to soften enough to go down in the pot unless you have a bigger pot. And then you always wanna make sure you kind of twist them around so that they're not stuck together. You always gotta stir your pasta, so we're gonna give that another minute. Okay. I'm gonna get a little bit of my white wine out. Just throw a little of that in. Whee! Because you know. So now that, you know, I had the olive oil in here, I've been cooking on lower, just slow and slow because it is extra virgin olive oil that I used. But now that I've mixed the wine in it, I just turned it up a little bit because that wine is gonna steam all this stuff and make it nice and yummy. All right, now we're gonna give it some flavor, some sapore. Oh, you know, there's an awesome Italian song called Sapore di Sale, the flavor of salt, or the taste of salt. That was the pepper. There we go, a little more pepper, like pepper, a little more. So, it's an old, I think it's like an old 60s Italian song. Sapore di Sale. Anyway, and it talks about, you know, how it's like a love song, you know, because when you've been in the ocean, you have the taste of salt on your body. You know, it's a beautiful song. But anyway, so you should check it out. But I read this article, somebody sent it to me, and they were talking about how this has to do with my whole back to the table movement. It's an article titled, I've got crumbs on me. It's an article titled "The Mommy Wine Culture Needs to Go." And it's talking about how, you know, especially during the pandemic here, you know, women are freaking out and they are, you know, so concerned and worried and stressing out about the kids at home and this and that. Let me tell you something. That's a bunch of baloney because, see, I got 6 kids and I stayed home with them, and doesn't make me better than anybody else, but I tell you what, I lived it, I did it, I enjoyed it. I've forgotten half of it because some of it I don't even remember because I was so busy, but they remember, so that's all that matters. The thing is, it is really important that we set a good example for our kids, but don't sit there like this article saying, don't be that example that's showing that, oh, you kids, I gotta have a drink to tolerate you. You know, save that for when they're in college. That's when you really need a drink to tolerate them. No, I'm just kidding. But it is really important to live your life together with you and your kids and all that. And move this out of the way. I feel like it's in front of me. You just need to live your life and enjoy it. There is so much, yes, you can enjoy a glass of wine. Now, mind you, you know, wine is not a drink or all day drink. Wine is a drink you drink with your meal. If you want to have a before dinner drink and after dinner drink, that is culture. If you're going to suck stuff down all day long around your kids and be buzzed half the day, that's not right, okay? Just like I've said before, Italians drink with purpose. Know your purpose and know your limit and know the image that you're passing on to your kids, whether it's you need that to tolerate them or you need that just to wind down. That's a different story. In the evening, you know, have a little aperitivo before dinner. It kind of just prepares your stomach for food, and also just relaxes you. Because when you eat and you're stressed, holy crap, you know how it gets stuck right here? It's not good. All right, I'm going to flavor this. We're going to put in, I'm going to put a little bit of spice in this. We're going to put a little bit of this, my Italian mix. It's a little much. There we go, put some back in. Oh, that smells so good. When I'm talking about getting back to the table, it's not just that moment when you're sitting down. It's the lead up to it. It's the anticipation. It's the good smell of the food that's wafting around the house. It's the kids, hey, would you stir that for me? Or hey, why don't you get the drinks for the table? Or, you know, let's get is the pasta done yet? Can you test it? These are ways that you can include them, because when it comes to the food, they will always come. Because if they have to test, who wants to taste the sauce? I got some bread, and they'll be happy to dunk the bread in the sauce. This is how you draw the family in to the kitchen. Okay, turn this off. Salted with 1 tablespoon of salt already. I'm going to put this in here. My goodness. Now, yesterday somebody said something about don't throw the pasta water away. Depends on what kind of sauce you're doing that you need the pasta water. Like this one, I may use a little pasta water. We're going to see. So I'm going to toss, let's move this back so I don't knock it over. We're going to toss this around. Oh yeah. I can smell the garlic. I can smell the mushrooms. I can smell the little bit of vino. All the stuff's on the bottom. I'm trying to, there we go. Look at how pretty this is. So when I dish this out, be a little bit of everything in each dish. Shall we make one dish? Oh yeah. And look at that. Isn't that pretty? It's pretty. And tasty. Let's see one. Yum. So, today's lesson is you can throw anything together to make a beautiful, tasty dish. Of course, I'm going to put a little Romano cheese on top because I like it like that. And I would taste it, but it's a little too hot at the moment. It's really hot. Can you see it steaming? But anyway, you're getting some pasta. You're having it during the day. I really encourage you guys to have pasta if you're home, whether you're retired and you're home during the day, or you're lucky enough to be able to work from home during the day. Make your bigger pasta dish during the daytime, and then at night have, you know, something lighter, a little bit of chicken or a little bit of meat or vegetables, maybe a half a slice of bread, Italian bread, of course, to go with it. But use your carbs up during the day and have your proteins and vegetables at night. It's very nice. It does make you feel lighter. That's how I lost 20 pounds the first couple months we were here when he's working from home. So I make us these kind of lunches, and at night it's really simple. But anyhow, enjoy cooking with the family, get them to the table, but before you get them to the table, get them in the kitchen. Let them be your test tasters. Everybody wants to be the test taster because most of the time before dinner, they're really hungry. Anyway, let's get back to the table, have a good meal. Please like, share, follow, and please comment on my stuff. Somebody taught me this yesterday. They're like, make sure you tell people to comment because that makes a difference on your every day I'm learning something new. So please comment on my stuff because it helps me. And, you know, I know you want to help me, right? And, you know, here we go. I'm helping you. So make a little shui shui lunch. Throw some stuff in a pan, saute it up, little olive oil, little wine, little salt and pepper, maybe a little spice, and boom, yummy lunch. All right. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and I will see you next time. Ciao, ciao.